Shall we have a wee look at a pro tactic today? I think so. Here's a 4-2-3-1 by Huge Gorilla. Hello folks, and welcome to a brand new video by me, Tactical Max 7 on YouTube. And today we are looking at a 4-2-3-1. And for those of you that have followed my channel since the beginning, you'll know that this is a formation I started with, and one of the formations I always love. And one of my favourite players, pro players to ever watch and play the game is Spencer, Huge Gorilla. For those of you that were lucky enough to watch him when he was at, well, should we call it his prime? We can call it his prime. I'm pretty sure he called it his prime when he won the World Championship thing that he was just phenomenal at. If you've seen him play then, he was absolutely immense. Now he's more of a content creator slash pro player still, but he does make fantastic content on Twitch and on YouTube, where he does challenges every weekend. And he is a really, if you want to watch a pro player who you can access, he's got a Discord where he'll help you with gameplay and he'll talk to you. He's really down to earth and he will talk you through gameplay, which is really cool to see. And when he's on Twitch, he'll talk through his gameplay. He's one of the best people that you'll see for doing player locks, and he's very good at skills. Yeah, just a very good player. So if you get a chance to check him out, check him out. But this is 4-2-3-1. Now, originally, I was going to do this as part of a 2-tactic thing, but now I'm just doing it with this one on its own, and I'll do another video for another tactic that's quite similar to this, but different in the same way. Normally what I do with pro tactics is I talk about the tactics and then break it down how you can access it as a normal player. Now, what I would say with this one is it's very obvious what you can change and what you can tweak, and that is included in the other tactic. So for this tactic, I'm just going to talk about Spencer's tactic, Huge Gorilla's tactic, in its form, which is this. The only thing I've done is I've swapped over the two CDMs, because, like I say, I was swapping between two tactics. So let's get into team management and have a look. So here it is. This is the tactic, the 4-2-3-1 narrow. There's the code if you want to grab it, and that's the setup. So let's get in. We're on balanced build-up style, which bucks the trend a little bit, and defensive approach aggressive, so up at 95. This is kind of like where everyone's going. It's very, very easy to play through if you have the right setup, but it is difficult to defend against because you can get swamped. Aggressive approach also, I think, and I seen this on Inception's video where he talked about how the center mids become more aggressive and act more defensively because they're on aggressive, obviously. And I think he's right with that. I've tested it and played about with it. I think you can use aggressive on center mids and it does help. For this one, we're on aggressive and balanced. Now, for the majority of you, if you want your players getting forward faster, I always talk about counter. Now, counter does benefit the normal player better. A pro player wouldn't use counter because it'd be counterintuitive to them sending players on runs. So if you don't often use player runs, then I would suggest using counter. If you want the tactic in its true form, it's balanced. Into the player roles, we have our striker, who I have as Muller, on advance, forward and attack. We have the 3 cams on Shadow Striker and attack. We have the 2 center CDMs, one on ball winning midfielder holding, and one on deep line playmaker and build up. So different to how we normally play. Again, if you're finding that both your CDMs are getting forward, you can put your deep line playmaker on defend. It'll keep them back a little bit more. Fullbacks are both fullbacks on balanced. And your 2 center defenders are on defender and defend. Your goalkeeper's on super keeper, but you know, do whatever you want with keepers because keepers are keepers. Unless you're manually moving them or pulling them out, they don't do much. Again, big change. If you want to make this more solid, you can move your fullbacks to defend. But again, this is the tactic as it was created. So with the ball, we will look like this. Kanté will sit behind Raskin, allowing Raskin to be more of the playmaker player. The 3 shadow strikers will get forward and support and be right alongside Muller. Your fullbacks will join the play. They will be more eager, but they won't go beyond really the halfway line unless you trigger them. But they'll be closer to the halfway line. Your 2 central defenders just have to be good. Yeah, and that's it. From what I found with this tactic is it was really fun to play in the sense that it was expansive. My shadow strikers got involved in everything. The one thing I would say, your central, I don't like Cole here. I don't think he has the AI for what I want to do. I want this shadow striker to be going beyond the striker, where Cole seems to have the same kind of AI as I found with Maradona, where Maradona just wants to sit and face up players. Cole was very similar to that. Didn't go beyond players. This guy just kept going offside all the time, and he was annoying. Barami is just good, even though he's just got the playstyle plus. Everyone else is great. These are my Evos, which are cool. Cortez is becoming a bit of a beast, which is brilliant. And this guy's doing another Evo. But yeah, let's get into some gameplay and see how it plays. Right, let's get into the gameplay analysis. So this is the team I'm playing. Really, really nice team. Alisson in goals, decent goalkeeper. The Evo Theo, best left back I think probably you can get. That's Rafael Leao card, brilliant. The right wing Maradona, not fully done, 89. This Adeyemi card, one of the most hated cards to play against. Evo Pirlo, I think. Evo Scholes, the 94 Zidane. The Team of the Year Ronald Koeman, I love that card. Sold mine because, well, I thought he was getting past the power curve, so sold him. So, straight away, we get into the game. He kicks off. I get lucky. Get the bounce. Now, that's kind of like a mismatch, my right back against his Leao, because Leao is such a big unit of a player. There, I mess up the pass. But we get back. We're okay. Now we get the ball down the line. So, you can see at this point, with the shadow strikers, 1 shadow striker, 2 shadow striker, 3 shadow striker, all ahead of the striker. But that's because he's dropped off. But you can see how high up they are. And then they drop to the 2 CDMs. You have 4 players you can play about with, though. And that's good because it gives you options either side. And we see we lose the ball. And he goes all the way back to keeper. But it's okay because we can press. And when you're on this aggressive line, you need to be able to press. And this is probably one of the best formations to press in. Get the ball to Kante. He's pressing me because he's playing this high line too. Somehow he gets the ball there, which is a bit annoying. And he goes back. And he did this quite a lot at the start of the game. Kind of recycle backwards to build play from the back. Gets it to Scholes, sprinting through the midfield. So we're just trying to put players in front of his path to force him to change direction. We get lucky here because if he'd played that ball into Scholes, he had a better chance than taking it on himself. Here we're just finding space. We're trying to go round. We've isolated the left back position because he's pulled Theo Hernandez out of place. We're now looking for the ball into the middle. We find Muller. We're looking to find a wee bit of space. We get the ball to Joe Cole. Shots pretty tame. So he gets going again. We pick up the ball in midfield because we're on the aggressive style. They'll try and make interceptions. That I get really lucky with because that was such a poor ball for me. It's the wrong side of the player. That's where I should be trying to do player locks and stuff. Should make it better. Get the ball to Barami. We tried to take the kind of flicky touch inside, but it didn't come off and it went out. But we're putting lots of pressure on him now. And I'm feeling like there should be a goal coming in this phase of the game. Because it's all me. And remember that, because you're going to see another phase of the game in a wee minute. And that's not going to be all me. So straight from the free kick, we just get people running over it to make runners, to make him guess. We go back to Cole. He's putting loads of pressure on me. Lovely ball around the outside. We've taken out everybody. We should have done a fake shot inside and hit it with the left, but we didn't. He gets to Maradona and he starts to try and run down the line. And that was kind of what his aim was. Get to his wingers and run down the line. Which you will know an awful lot of people are doing at the moment. So we're taking little touches here. We send a couple of people for a hot dog. Then we get to Miller, Cross, and Franco, whatever his name is, actually scores. Which is good because he normally runs offside. So you can see we've recovered the ball here. Our defensive shape, our defenders, even though they're unbalanced as fullbacks, they still stay narrow. Cortez is now looking to run into space to create a pass. Kante's sitting nice and deep. Raskin's going forward. You can see the direction of his body is going that way. You can see that Kante's direction of his body is going that way. So you've got this offset midfield. And that's what we want, because we don't want players running into the same position. We're back for the check. Ball to Kante, first time to Raskin. I do that a lot. Kante to Raskin, Raskin to Kante. Just finding these wee spaces. Raskin moving forward becomes a playmaker pivot. Ball into the channel for Muller. We stop. We try and go back. We probably shouldn't. The pass wasn't really on. And that's what I mean about Joe Cole. Other cams I have in that position will run forward and make that run into the box. Whereas Joe Cole doesn't tend to do that. He doesn't go beyond, which I find a bit strange. We go short to Birani. Playing about here. He just stood still with his Theo. I kind of got myself dizzy. And here I was worried because I was like, that Theo is so fast. I mean, he knocks the ball away there. I don't know how I get so far behind him. But luckily we just hold our position. And we can win the ball. So this is a nice place to stop it because we can look at the shape of the team. Left back, opening up position. 2 centre backs in the middle of the pitch, which is where we want them. 2 centre CDMs, nice and close to each other for the short passing. Right back, you can see on the radar there, is a wee bit higher up than Cortez, offering the pass, pushing the left back, pushing the left midfield back. Our central shadow striker is taking up a nice position in between his centre mids and his centre backs. And our left and right cams are just a little bit more deep. Again, free. You can see how everybody's free. No one's bogged down by players. No one's standing in daft places. Everybody's free. And we mess up the pass. And this is where I felt like a massive momentum shift after I had that corner and he went on him. I just felt here the ball was just always with him. And he did quite well protecting the ball. And he's finding the passes. That I felt was a better tackle. That I felt I should have kept, which annoyed me. Then he makes a wee run. I got a tackle here. We finally get the ball back. But I don't really find, I don't get forward with it really. Get the ball to Joe Cole there. Barami. I've not really got anything on here. I could have played the through ball. Find a simple pass. I'm trying to go in field. I'm just looking. I'm constantly looking. I can't find it. And then that. What is that? What was that touch? That pass? Pass to the right back. That's supposed to be a touch into Kante. And you can see that it selects Kante. But, I mean, what is that? How does it do that? I drag back the central defender there. I managed to cover the space. Cortez turns and knocks the ball straight into his player. 5-star weak foot on that card, by the way. There, he takes a lovely touch inside and Adeyemi from the edge of the box, low driven. I think it was low driven. No, just a normal shot into the bottom of the box. 88 shooting, but somehow manages to always score against me. So it's 1-1. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. 33 minutes gone. At least that momentum shift has changed now. I always feel like when that happens, when you feel such a distinct shift in the momentum, is waiting for a goal to happen. Once that goal happens, I feel that the shift goes back or the momentum resets. And I do feel at this point, because now I'm feeling that my players are going forward again. Look how close together Joe Cole was there. Now we can get the ball into Muller. We look for the overrun of Joe Cole. He's made the run this time. We get the ball, and it's a really good save from Allison. We probably should have went low driven across goal. We take the corner. We take it quickly in. Raskin, edge of the box. Try to find space. Cortez. And that's what I think is a brilliant thing about having a left winger converted to left back. He's got great defensive stats, but he can also play as the winger. So versatile. That was such a good Evo that EA gave us. I hope they'd give us one for the right hand side as well. Barami into Cole. Lovely ball into that gap that we're always looking for to Muller. We drive to the byline this time. I always feel that people are expecting you to stop and cross it. So if you drive to the byline, then you cut it back. Just mixing it up. So we're now 3-1 up. He gives away another free kick with Theo. We go straight to Kante. Raskin. Get the ball down the outside to Cole. We cut back in. If I double tapped that, I might have got it past. The pass wasn't really on. It was a pretty stupid thing I did. He goes running down with his right back, but Cortez thankfully has the pace to close him off. We get the ball in time midfield. Once again to Joe Cole. Muller, we're looking at that space again. We try and clip over, but his Theo was just... The change in direction in Theo there was just mental. You don't see many players being able to do that. So there you go. That was the tactic. That's how it plays. Super fun to play. Super aggressive. On the front foot. Closing down. Really high press. Loads of fun. If you get a chance to give it a go, please do. Please like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. If you don't want to do any of that, don't do any of that. If you like the videos, please subscribe. It does help. And turn ad blockers off because, you know, I don't really. I've got ad blockers on too. Yeah, really good tactic. Lots of fun. Gorilla's really good with his tactics. He plays it a lot better than me. If you get a chance to watch him play this, please do. And let's get into my final thoughts. So there you go. That was the gameplay. I hope you liked it. It was good fun. That guy was playing 95 depth. Obviously, you could see that. You could see how much space I was getting in behind his defense. I just couldn't take advantage of it. Second half, I was even worse. Like, oh my god, I had so many one-on-ones, and you know that thing where the keeper comes rushing out, and you just go, hit the ball straight at him. Yeah, that's what I was doing, which wasn't great. But you can see how the passing angles are available. Your CDMs offer great support. Your cams are always available, especially that central cam sitting in a lovely pocket of space. Even against a 4-2-1-3, your cams will find space because they obviously only has 2 CDMs and you've got 3 cams sitting there, so you've got options. Yeah, wonderful formation to play. I was really surprised. I thought I was going to have to do loads of tweaks. And then Div10 dropped his tactic, which is kind of similar. It's one I had a look at as well. Very good tactic. I'll try and put a video on that as well if you want to see that. I don't know if you do. His tactic had slight changes, and I thought, oh, that's probably more defensive kind of thing. So I'll set them up together, play them together. But I honestly never swapped out of this. Even when I played the guy that had like the R9 Evo, CR7, what else did he have? Peter Crouch, not Peter Crouch. He had Harry Kane. Harry Kane is giving me Peter Crouch vibes from last year, if anyone remembers that card. Where I set up the 4-2-1-3 for the heading. That was just mental. Yeah, Harry Kane and weirdly an Evo Hoyland. But he was playing 4-2-4 and just totally gung-ho. The game ended up like 6-6 or 7-7. I just stayed on this. Because I always feel with this formation I can score goals. Even against people that are like parking the bus, I feel like I can find someone who's gonna do something in that final third. So yeah, a really fun tactic to play. A tactic I would suggest you guys get on and have a go with. It's very, very meta right now, this formation. The 4-2-3-1 is obviously where everyone's going, using the wingers, getting pace into the team, counter-attacking. But this just feels like you can get a little bit more control of the game. So if you want to give it a go, please do. Let me know how you got on with it. Please like, comment, and subscribe because you guys are an amazing community. Check us out in the Discord. We'll be kicking about if you want to ask any questions. And give us a go and let me know how you got on. Till I catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy your gaming. Play while you're having fun and take a break if it's not fun. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.